Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are going for one of my favorite deck I really like to play since a lot of months. However, this was changed for the Alchemy update because we got some sweet cards that you might already noticed that are pretty darn good in this deck actually. So Cosmos Elixir was rebalanced, and right now, even if you have below 20 HP, or 21 should I say, you not only get life, but you also get scry. So every single turn at the end step you get to scry. And if you are above 20 life, so 21 and more, you actually draw cards every turn. And after the rebalance, I would say that it's not a huge difference. In this deck, you usually know what exactly you need at the spot, so Scry is nearly as good as drawing. But what exactly this deck does? The main idea is Cabal Stronghold and Swamps. So obviously, Cabal Stronghold, you tap it and pay 3 mana, and you add 1 black for each swamp you control. So it starts paying dividends after 5 swamps. So with 5 swamps you have 7 mana, and it goes exponential from there. So you need a lot of mana and a lot of swamps to make it work. However, even at 6 or 7 you can go completely crazy, and this is the reason why we have Ugin main deck and Ulamuk also main deck. Those are big creatures that want to finish the game. And you have only one because you have 4 mastermind acquisitions, so you can search whenever you feel like this is the card that solves you the game. And we also have a strong sideboard that we will talk in a moment. However, the main idea for the deck is that we have a lot of 4-drops. We are very heavy at the 4-drops. So this is why we have 4 Mind Stones. We optimally want to turn 1 Thought Size, then turn 2 Mind Stone, and either Solemn or Cosmos Elixir. And from there we go into value train. We also have 4 Maze Mind Tones because this deck is very short on value after you ramp. So you need either Cosmos Elixir, Maze Mind Tome, or Mastermind's Acquisition. So this is how this deck creates value back. And once you hit those cards, you really can get back very quickly and suddenly overwhelm enemy. And of course the main idea is Mastermind Acquisition, so let's go into the sideboard. It really hurts that it was cut to 7 cards some time ago, but still we have a lot of different options, so let's go through them. Gravedigger's Cage. That's of course for any Phoenix deck, graveyard decks, like every deck uses graveyard right now, nearly, except us. So this one is huge, and it also is a 5 mana play together with Mastermind Acquisition, which very often makes a huge difference that you need to use the same turn the card that you fetched. I have Perilous Vault. This is a strange one, and I don't see most people use it because it's 9 mana to like sweep everything. However, with this deck, it's not very hard to even use it during one turn with Mastermind Acquisition. You can have like 15 mana quite easily. So this is mostly for like this artifact decks that uses all the colorless ramp and then uses Ugin, Karn, things like this. Maybe not Karn. That's an exception because Karn disables artifacts. However, except Karn, it can pretty much sweep the whole board from the enemy artifacts, planewalkers, creatures, things like this. So that's pretty good, and it's very universal because it sweeps everything. And we like cards like this. We have also Ugin, but it doesn't affect colorless, so that's the reason. Thought Distortion for any control deck or any situation when you aren't sure what enemy can do to you. So before you do the main plan with some huge creature like Ulamok or something, you first go Thought Distortion, and most of the time enemy will scoop after it because very often it's like their whole gameplay got destroyed. Liliana is pretty good because of sacrifice effect, so sometimes you will see situation when enemy has 2 creatures, and this is just perfect answer, and Liliana is still in the board. So you not only remove all the threats, but you also get some threat yourself that the enemy has to answer. So that's a very good card, and I had situation when I really wanted Liliana, so that's why I added her here. And yeah, Shadow Verdict is a standard for all those pesky small creatures that come in from the graveyard, so like Croxa, Lurus decks, and so on, so on. It's also a good sweeper. And Torment of Hailfire. And this is something you will fetch quite often, contrary to what you might think, because once you had like 13 mana, something like this one usually just kills enemy outright. And Ulamuk needs 3 turns usually to kill the enemy. Ugin even more, so you really like some way to just end the game from surprise standpoint. Most of enemies don't expect it really. So if the game is stale, and that's very often the case, so enemy plays something like a creature, then you remove it, then he plays another thing, and so on, so on. Suddenly, if you grow to 15, 16 mana, that's like instant kill, even if he has some creatures and cards and so on. And some decks paint themselves quite a lot with lands and like, I don't know, maybe land that draws cards, losing life, things like this. And they usually don't consider life being a factor against you. So then you can capitalize and go for it even earlier. So that's a very good card, and one of the ones that I really fetched quite a lot. Okay, so that was the idea, and let me tell you, this deck is really powerful. I'm not sure if it's mythic level, I didn't check it so far. However, it's definitely easy to get into diamond with this one, and it's way better against aggro matchups and control matchups than you would think, especially with the Cosmos Elixir. If you have 1 or 2 in the board, most aggro decks just can't outvalue you. They like deal 3 damage a turn, 4 damage a turn, and suddenly you can heal everything, and they just cannot keep up because you remember, like every turn you scry, so you have good draws, you have removers, sweepers, and every time they go above this line to start killing you, you just remove something and they are back to square one. So I think Cosmos Elixir really starts to fit this deck, and I really felt good every time I played it on turn 3. Suddenly your value skyrockets. So I think that's it for the deck. I really like playing it, and if you have the cards and if you like this kind of deck, try it. It's really fun and it feels really powerful, and a lot of skill is included because you can get every card from sideboard, main deck, and so on. So it's up to you if you win or not, and that's exactly why we play Magic. So thank you for watching. If you like this kind of deck, subscribe and like the video and enjoy the games. So as usually, the worst part of this hand is that we are going second. As a first player, this hand would be perfectly amazing. Yep, exactly what I meant. However, we have good turn 1 response, so hopefully they didn't have perfect hand with every single turn on curve with perfect creatures. Wow. Is it really one lander? No. So they just have perfect hand. Must be nice. So normally we would already have Cosmos Elixir in the play against Delver, but we went second because we are a bad player. So what can you do? Like, to be really honest with you guys, I really always felt that going second is such a huge disadvantage. They need to think of something that balances it out. Like, even about for the win rates, you can see such clear difference, and it's always one way, that if you are going first, you are just more likely to win. It's hard to see how this is a good design. And let's, oh, okay, I think that's fine. And let's see, different games that are generally inferior found a way to like offset it. For example, a 1 mana bear, like something that gives you 1 mana once in the game. So that's enough to balance tempo. Like, I'm not sure, of course, I'm not like a pro player and everything, but There must be something that offsets how big difference it is. That's my opinion, at least. I'm sure there are like whole Reddits about it, but I didn't read them. So there are probably some points that they didn't introduce it, but with all the recent changes, it's possible they will at some point. We will see. I'm wondering what will happen. Okay, so let's do what we want to do. Oh my god, this moment is something I will cherish for the rest of the day. Oh, hi Mark. This is decent card. Not sure if that's correct decision, but it answers a lot. Okay. So they're going for this kind of plan, which I cannot blame them for. And we could answer both. That is a problem. We are a bit mana short, but we should kill the Phoenix. Theoretically, they can cast 3 spells. They don't run counter spells most of the time. So I will wait for their turn. No, no thank you. That's definitely not what we want. Cosmos Elixir gives so much buffer. Yep. Spell number 1. So if you kill Phoenix your phase or before combat, it doesn't mean that it won't attack, so it's always better to wait until their combat phase, because they just cannot resurrect it after it. And that's very good. Then our ritual is great. So no harm in attacking. Let's cleave. Suddenly we are at the same HP we were before the attack. And I will scry. Oh man, that is interesting, and I think that's fine. Call me crazy, but they only have two cards, and if we can like completely disembark what they have, they cannot bring the Phoenix back. So this is the first play. Maybe let's do it like this. I want to know what they exactly have. Oh, and suddenly you don't have anything. Not in the hand, not in the graveyard. Yes, that feels good. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I want land, but not exactly this one. Do I want this? We want something bigger impact. We have one stronghold, we don't need more. Okay. If he hits 3 spells in a row, I will be extremely mad. And it is possible. This is the deck that does it. Wow. They just keep going. So this one cannot enter. So I am actually pretty stupid. The Phoenix cannot go back, but they can kill it. So if they are still playing, it's very possible they have some Bedevil or something like this, or maybe Prismari, I don't know. And right now we want cards. It's still not net positive, so let's see what we draw. That is a card. So let's play. We won't be able to play anything, so that's not bad, but we need Mastermind Acquisition and Swamps, because this is how we close the game. Even though the Gravedigger Cage is good, I just don't feel like it's enough. I assume they have some way to stop it. I wouldn't believe that they expect creatures to do the job. So let's start drawing cards. Oh, that's an interesting one. Let's keep drawing cards. Okay, that's very good. That's what we want, pretty much. Okay, and we can start having stuff. Okay, we can use Stronghold with the other mana. Yep, right. So both promises were discarded by Thought Size. Yeah, that's what we do. Okay, call me crazy, I like it. You can see how much work this is doing. Every turn we get both Scry and healing, and the Phoenix barely outdamage us. So he is thinking that, oh man, we have... Whoa, 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 whoa. I was talking too much. So actually we can out-heal one Phoenix with this deck, which is crazy. And we have enough mana for now, especially if we hit Swamp. We are at 9 mana. Yep, and Swamp is worth more than the Mind Stone. So let's do it like this. We won't get better than this. And this whole game was changed by the Gravedigger Cage. That's pretty much the only thing that did the difference. Suddenly, yes, and that's the card. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the card that wins us the game. Yep, bring those creatures. You can see that this card pretty much made the enemy deck completely useless, 100%. It's just 4 mana 3/2 and 1 mana 1/1. Like, it's a sad display of cards right now. We can even take Ugin and it doesn't destroy any of our cards because all of our cards are colorless. So how much mana? 11. Okay, sorry. 11, so we can go for 7. What do we have for 7? Not Ugin. Ulam could be good for finishing the game. But what can we have? Hellfire is okay. Yeah, I think we go for Hellfire. Liliana is fine though. I want to have something flashy in the end. And we could use Shadow Verdict, but I don't think it matters yet. So we actually want either Swamp or like Cabal, a Stronghold. Wow. This is a good card. Okay. Okay, so that's not an instant, probably a land. Okay. An interesting creature. So this proved to be a very good card right now. So I originally missed that they cannot go into the gameplay from the graveyard. Wonder if the enemy will also miss it, probably not. They smarty. How much mana do we have? Probably still 11. So 9. They can eat 6. So they can discard 2 cards and sacrifice 1 creature. So that's not good enough. And not dragon, not dragon, and not dragon. Or non-dragon creatures. Good. Suddenly they have nothing. So we really want another Stronghold. This is a good card. I will take it. And believe or not, we are at 19. I really like the Cosmos Elixirs. They are pretty good. Especially if you play at turn 4, it really carries you throughout the game. Like this Phoenix normally would be Leafer, and right now it just doesn't matter because we heal more than it's worth. How fun is it? Sloth, it's very funny. It's so funny we cannot breathe. Yeah, so... okay, that's a very good card. So we won't be very much drawing, but we are at 17 after this round. No, I don't need more. This is fine. Okay, so I think next turn we win. with the swamp. Actually, in this deck, after we use Tormentor of Hellfire, having swamps and strongholds is all you need. I don't think they have any counterspell in the deck. They actually don't have value in the deck anymore. Without the Phoenix, this deck just doesn't do anything and has like, I don't know, 12 creatures, and that's it. And all of them are super subpar. So, 13, my friend. I won't be counting, because I just want to do it. Let the enemy bother. So you like discarding. You like, go for it. You can discard everything. I'm just helping you. I'm making sure that your deck does what he wants. Imagine how hard this game would be without the cage. I'm pretty sure we would lose it if we had so much trouble even without it. Okay, so they had Fading Hope and some damage. And -10. That was pretty enough. Oh yes, I felt so good after this Gravedigger cage. All my losses to the Phoenix deck just like got recuperated and yeah, warm and fuzzy, as I said. I think that's fine. We have ramp and we have tome, because overall we are super behind on the cards after we use all the ramp. So that's why Maze Mind Tome is here. Okay, so it will be 3 mana, next turn it will... okay, so we can next turn draw. You want to start drawing with this as soon as possible, also to make the counters. Okay, and probably would prefer to kill it. So if they play 3 mana Angel, it's only 4 life. And I think that Angel needed 5 life, so they cannot... okay, so I think for 1 turn we are safe. So let's start playing. Auto-tapper never likes to tap this one. So let's go like this. It's not optimal mana-wise, but we want to hit lands, and if we get additional land thanks to this draw, it's better than playing this. Okay. That's not the worst. We have Sweeper, so that's fine. I should wait, but it's all the same, it's just 1 damage difference. Okay, so they probably will get it to +2/+2, so it's 4 damage plus this. I think we should kill this. And the reason is that after we sweep the board, this creates edgers and we don't want them. We probably should use the Mastermind acquisition as well. We might not have another chance like this. And if we do it, I'm pretty sure we shouldn't be able to lose. Shadow Verdict is just better for this matchup. And with Maze Mind Tome we aren't super scared about card advantage. We are at 19 and with this at 23. So that's pretty good. Great. Oh yes, just spam them. So we obviously know what is the next play for the next turn. And it's 3 for 1, so that's decent. We don't want to scry. And usually you don't want to show the Cabal Stronghold, because then you show the enemy what potential you have. And that's not something you want to show, if you don't have to. Okay? Okay, so yeah, I think Ritual is enough for now. So we could think about waiting, but it's very high chance that we would die, so 3 for 1 is good enough. And this is why we took the next Sweeper, because they usually can rebuild the second board. However, after this it will be extremely hard for them. Yep. And I still don't want to scry. Cosmos Elixir is pretty good. Okay, so that how to play this situation. This one will attack for 3, this one for 4, so we are at 8, and the board will be crazy after next turn, so we don't want to sweep right now. We want to sweep next turn. And Cosmos Elixir plus card draw. Good. And it's very possible we use Mind Stone at the end step. And this also helps. Oh man, I really like Simulacrum. It's one of my favorite cards, but I think it's too slow and it doesn't block their cards. They usually have flyers. Oh, if that was earlier, that would be amazing. Okay. If this becomes a creature, that's even better. And I think it will. So as you can see, that's exactly what they usually do. They most of the time try to make a second board so scary that you are forced to either draw a sweeper or just you lose the game automatically. So this was exactly what we wanted, and this is exactly why we used Ritual of Suit first. So yeah, they get completely swept and they will scoop after we play it. We just need to make sure that we have mana and everything. Yeah, like I actually will do the thing, because it takes so much time. It doesn't matter what they do. Like play with yourself, cool. Let's just show them who's the boss. Bye and thank you. And now we can even ramp. And ramping is very good even at this stage because it lets us finish the game earlier. And with Cosmo... Yes, please! Yes, please! Okay, and now the game is over, pretty much. Yep, as expected. So that's how usually it goes. First sweeper is just to recover the tempo, and you are pretty much even with them. And second sweeper is just finisher. Okay, so we have pretty good start with the Mindstone and Solemn. That's pretty much what we want. I'm a bit scared for no removal and going second. So I actually this hand is perfect, but we are going second and that's the problem. But yeah, okay. Is this the Ulamog? I assume, okay, they actually did this. But is this a smart decision? I think that's the worst they could do. Because let's face it, this won't leave until 10 mana, and it goes back. Yeah, until it leaves the battlefield, so I think they just wasted it. Unless they have some trick up their sleeves that I never seen. Not sure what the idea is. And actually Solemn is very good here, because it pretty much blocks and trades with a lot of stuff here. Yep, and ramp is amazing. Okay, so right now we recovered from going second, like land-wise of course, because we are super behind on the tempo. If we went first with this hand, man. Okay, that's fine. The fact that it costs 2 mana is pretty strong, and this one won't be able to replay it. So let's draw a card. Wow, that's perfect draw. I think that's the best draw we could have. Oh man, and I love this card as well. So, first swamp, and at 5 mana you prefer Cabal Strongholds, so until then you don't really have any incentive to show the enemy what you have. And I do think that we should play like this. First we destroy the Surveil, which really helps. And Arcanist would probably like double font size or some crazy thing like this. And we even get the tome. I always have some troubles with discerning should I scry. In this situation maybe I should, but I'm just so greedy. Sorcery if you've cast an instant or sorcery. Okay, it's only a tap. That's a very nice land. Wow, I actually like this one. Okay. I really think they don't understand how this card works. Like, this is the most pointless decision they could make. No, you need to pay 10 mana, my friend, and you even don't get the cast trigger because you didn't cast it. So I don't understand. I don't understand those not deck players. Not all of them. Everyone watching is very nicely seen here. No, but honestly, it always pains me a bit when someone has like tier 1 deck, except this part, and they just butcher it so hard. Okay, let's think. The scry thing can be the most important decision, and I actually think we should scry. Because we are only at 14, and it goes very quickly. That's not a bad card, but I think we need something more powerful. And I will draw. So I think we want as much mana as possible. So let's go for it. I hate that we cannot kill it. Oh, that hurts so much. You know what? I think we can do it differently. Oh no, we can't. I tried to be smart, but it ended as always. So let's do it like this, and what the enemy will play? Static Discharge. So we will get to draw a card, but we won't be able to block. However, we can use Parasitic Grasp for something. Not sure what though. Probably Valky. Yeah, I think we use it for Valky. So this way we can get Ulamog. And that's actually a very good trick, because Ulamog... Please, no. Because Ulamog is protected from discard effects right now. So we are guaranteed to be able to play it next turn. Okay. So I think we kill the Valky, then exile those two, and then we have like extremely good board. And we are still at reasonable HP with this. Okay. I even don't have discard, I can see. Okay, so up to 3 mana, what will he get? Well, he will get Static Discharge and that's it. And we can see that we barely will be able to play, you know, the thing. Okay, and do we want to kill the Dragon Ray Channel? Not really. Valky is too important. And let's scry, because we won't have mana to do it, which is a huge tear for the enemy. This is a good card. It might be a mistake, but I will take it. It's super late though. We wanted turn 4, not turn 11. Okay, so it will be a lot of damage, and we cannot do anything about it. Ouch. So every time they cast it, I think it grows, so that hurts a lot. Blockers usually want to wait as long as possible for the removal. Sometimes they feel that if you didn't take blockers, it means that you don't have anything, and they go all in. 7. Okay, so I think we can play, so we have 7, 11, 12. Yep, but we will draw with the tome. Let's go like this. We could get rid of lands, but I prefer the board to be empty, because it's scary as hell. And the priority is gaining life from the tome and some cards. They cannot really deal with this one, I think. Not in this deck, but the Static Discharge is scary. Like, we are 2 Static Discharges like from dying. Okay, that's a very good decision. They know it's like the biggest life gain we have. However, then Cosmos Elixir does the job, and that's good. So they can give something haste. No point in waiting though. If they perfectly hit something that kills us, I don't think it exists, but maybe Croxa with Fame, but they don't have enough mana. So what we want to do, first draw card. We might even cycle this one. Okay. I like what I'm seeing. And I think they will scoop. They didn't consider Cosmos Elixir, and now we are like way above what they can do. With Vraska, I don't think they have anything in the deck that can work. Yep, as expected. Ulamog is super scary against this kind of decks, because they have like low cost plan for the gameplay, and they don't have any kind of like real control plays to kill such huge creatures. As always, we are going second because we are a bad player. That sucks, we don't have any acceleration. However, we have some mana advantage. Hello. We have some mana, sorry, not mana advantage, card advantage with those cards. And we have a sweeper, so that's usually a reasonable start. And the fact we have Tome into the play is very important if this is some kind of control. And they are extremely rare right now. But it seems that this is a control. Okay, so this will be interesting. So our idea is drawing Mastermind Acquisition and going for the 6 mana like go blank thing. I don't remember the name, but it pretty much exiles everything that's not a creature or land from the enemy hand. And they very often allow the Mastermind Acquisition because they think they counter a card that you get, but they cannot counter this one. Okay, and now we need to think. We can outscale them in a way. How likely is it that they have counterspell? They cannot use the Archmage Charm, and Dimir usually has it. I think we just keep drawing cards. At some point they will do something, and the longer they wait, we can like play a lot of threats at the same turn. This is strange counterspell. Is it negate? Or is it nothing? Very philosophical. Ooh, that's a good card. This is a good card. But maybe we should use the Cosmos Elixir. Like, okay, if you have it, you got it. And they didn't. I actually want swamps. With this kind of hand, the more mana we have, the better. Oh no, not Field of Ruin. Oh no, not Doom Foretold. Yeah, I should know after the Kaya. But this is the deck. We cannot even exile it, because then we have nothing to, you know, sacrifice. No, man, that's unfortunate. So we need to sacrifice this, but we will keep feeding the golems. And what's better than feeding the golems? So unfortunately we have only one turn with the Cabal Stronghold, so we don't play it for a long time. And I expect Elixir to die this turn. That's not very good right now. Okay, so I think we wait until Doom Foretold eats everything. And when it does, then we go for the second Elixir. Worst case it trades, because we are above 20, so it should cycle at least. I hope. Maybe not with Doom Foretold, but you get the idea. Oh wow. So I think we just wait one turn. Enemy really invested in this. Oh my. Maybe we should actually go for it. So if we use Cabal Stronghold, we have 7 mana and 4. 7 and 4, around 11. So we can make a 7 mana play. But what can we have? That's not enough for our big spells. I think we go for Ugin next turn, and that's it. And I will still play this, just because it enhances our next turn. I might even kill this. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. So now they need to sacrifice something, which sucks for them. And I will kill the golem. Okay. I really think that was a mistake by them. But okay. I wanted to kill my golem. This way they would pop the Doom Foretold. But they're playing, I think, so weird, to say the least, that maybe we have more time than I expected. Oh man. I think we can just straight up kill them very soon. So we have 8. Yeah, we have 9. Correct. Okay. So with Cabal. So with 9 mana, with Cabal we would have 9 and 6. So 15 mana. We can go for acquisition. Okay, so I think the play is like this. We go for acquisition. I don't want full control. We go for the Hellfire, because that's the best we have. This is and this are also very good, but I think this one wins the game next turn. We want to play the Elixir, because it draws us the card. I hoped for a land, to be honest. I have infinite mana, so let's go for one sweeper. They might have the Dance of Demands, so then this might be useful still. They usually play X, but maybe. They have the colors for it. Yep, as expected. However, it's only 4. The issue is that they have more permanents, so they can get more. Blood Chief first isn't needed. Probably this will be the next discard. Okay, so let's start counting. The enemy has a lot of HP though, and that's not optimal. But we will manage. It's unfortunate they have Field of Ruin. This way we cannot use our Stronghold every turn. Okay, so when we play it, it's 9, 6, 15. We can go for 13. How much they can hit? 10, 9. So they need to discard 4 cards or sacrifice 4 things. That's not scary for them. So we need to find a card. Which card? Let's go for the library. I think Ugin or Ulamok are the best, but maybe we find something better. I think we go for Ugin, because next turn then it forces them to like do something and removes a lot of cards from the board. That's a hard game, because like the Ulamok doesn't really do much if Doom Foretold is in the game. Like, I hate you. Why do you have this card? Why do you have it after 30 cards in your deck? I hate him so much. I want for him to know what I feel right now. They might go for Mastermind Acquisition though, because it's scary. They might not know that Hellfire is pretty much our main idea, how to kill them, and they just had too many cards and we couldn't use the Stronghold thanks to Field of Ruin. So actually the Field of Ruin was the MVP of this match. Normally we could play 15 turns of mana every turn. Maybe I should play this for Cabal Stronghold. Maybe that was the correct play. Possibly. Hard to say. I will discard this. Okay. Good. So what do we do now? What do we do now? I think we just play the tome and start going for a little bit longer game and at least try to draw 4 cards with it. That's a good start. I think it's good to just get rid of the pressure. It's not huge. Oh man, they really have cards that maybe not counter us, but are so problematic. This sacrifices Ulamog or Ugin, and this one destroys our whole idea for the deck because we need Kabar Strongholds. So we have this one golden turn, and they even have font size to get rid of our stuff that we... Probably I shouldn't take it, unless I really wanted to use it. Yeah, I think that was a mistake, so I should make them discard Mastermind Acquisition, and then whatever version they didn't discard, then we can like search turn before the kill. So in a way, Mastermind Acquisition is protection for each card of that we have outside the game. Maybe we should have some more threats in the sideboard. It's hard to know for this kind of deck. Like, we could exile Dance for the Mans, but it's not the only threat they have. Okay, let's font size them. And this one is perfect answer for Ugin. Okay, this one is good as well. Oh man, not easy. I think this one is... like both of them are painful. So what can we get? And this will flip. So I think we still are forced to use it. It sucks. But if they don't have cards, so if we allow them to get as many as they want, that it's even worse. Like Ascanta is like the solution to their biggest problem. And we even get rid of Omen, so that's another scry that they miss. So what do we have in the sideboard that can help? We can exile everything except, yeah, like every non-land artifact. We have Liliana. Maybe Liliana would be good, but then we need to get rid of this. Maybe Gravedigger Cage. This prevents them to use Dance of the Mans. Yep, so they use it, they get off of Kaya. And what Ulamog does? Like, we can get rid of Field of Ruin, however, then like we don't have anything else to play. Oh, hi Mark. So this one flashback. Like, we need to do something. I think Ulamog for Field of Ruin is best we have. And they need some other permanent from the top of the deck. So let's see if they hit it. Okay, Library. Hi Mark. Big back creature. So Field of Ruin for sure. Do they have any kind of mana? Yeah, they actually don't have a lot of white mana, and they need a lot of white mana for stuff. So this one, that's, I think, reasonable play. Maybe they are lucky and they just top deck exactly the card that they can flashback with. No, they didn't. So I want to have this pleasure. Oh yeah, it feels so good. Ah, my heart is just lighter right now. And now we can use Scabbard Stronghold for everything, so it really helps. And we can start drawing cards and things like this. It's unfortunate that we don't have much value in the deck left. Not sure how many of them we are still having. 3, I think 1 at most. Yep. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. That was a very good try by our enemy. Holy hell, that was hard. I think he really misplayed the Doom for Tordo. The fact that he wasted 2 of them for no reason, you generally never want to sacrifice them to themselves. If you really want to pop them out, you do it on the enemy, so for 2 of them he would get 2 additional cards and he would draw 2 cards. So suddenly we have a 4 card difference between us, and he also makes pretty good board with double 2-2. So yeah, I think if he really wanted to pop it, he should he had the prophecy here, so at least one of them could be saved. And he should play it this way, that there's always one popping. That's the idea for this deck overall.